Snoop Dogg accidentally revealed information on a podcast which led to him being questioned by the police. Snoop Dogg was asked to react to Suge Knight's recent tweets of, "This little guy is responsible for the passing of Tupac," as just a few days prior from that tweet, there was another tweet from an anonymous account that said, "I've been quiet for too long. 2024, I'll be announcing what's really going on with Tupac Shakur," making many believe that Suge Knight was revealing the truth through several Twitter accounts and Snoop Dogg had some information on it. However, the information he shared ended up having him questioned by the police.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
The police are questioning on why Snoop Dogg didn't get into the vehicle with Tupac and Suge Knight when he was supposed to be there. Did Snoop know something was gonna happen? Well, the questioning officer does believe that Snoop Dogg knew something, as he would end up explaining during an interview that Tupac was a very special type of industry plant, and he was one to create peace between the red and blue street team through his music.
What did you find most fascinating about the alternative history of Tupac?
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
With the plan obviously not working, he would then suddenly pass. Now, when you compare the new police files of evidence supporting that Tupac is still alive to the evidence from his alleged passing, the truth begins to reveal itself, so allow me to explain. It all begins with a rapper named Treach. In 2010, Treach was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a show. Treach and Tupac were very close friends back in the day, and they even worked on a few albums together, but here is where things get interesting. After Treach's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. He placed the camera onto the floor, and in the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Treach about Tupac, to which Treach responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Pac still alive?
Nobody knows. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
Last time I saw him, he was in Treach, man.
Then suddenly, 3 weeks later, a video was then released onto a news website showing a video with Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
That sequence of events is actually what began the Tupac in Cuba theory, which a lot of people would support, just like Suge Knight, who has said multiple times that Tupac is alive and well. He has said so in so many interviews over the course of 2 decades now, as one particular interview from Suge makes a very convincing case towards Tupac still being here, where he would reveal that Tupac was allegedly doing fine in the hospital before his passing, where he even said, and I quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing well to doing so bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's very weird about this was that in the police files, Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep when he was arriving to the hospital. So how in the world would he and Suge Knight be laughing if Tupac was sleeping? It doesn't really seem to add up, but when you look at a 2008 interview from Suge Knight, he stood on business and said the exact same thing. Tupac was alive and that he was well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
Those two interviews have a 12-year gap. Suge Knight stood on business and said the exact same thing, even though it's been over a decade. However, the concerning part was after the 2008 interview, Suge Knight almost lost his life at a nightclub when a man used a firearm in his direction several times. As with the incident occurring the night after he did the 2008 interview, he immediately knew that it was likely due to him talking about Tupac during an interview, as the theory of it occurring because he talked about Tupac seems to be real, because his own son, Suge Knight Jr., made the exact same mistake. In 2018, Suge Knight Jr. took it to Instagram to state that Tupac was alive and well and that he was living in Malaysia. Right after he posted this, he then posted another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where somebody texted Suge Knight Jr. saying, "You have said too much, it's now time for you to go." As Suge Knight Jr. would then begin panicking, he would then start posting several photos of Tupac alongside modern-day celebrities such as 50 Cent and Beyonce. He really made it seem like someone was going after him for leaking all of this info. Even on the photo with Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." Some believe it was a publicity stunt for Suge Jr. to gain social media clout, but others believe that it was all real, and that if anyone was to know more information about Tupac, it would likely be Suge Knight's own son. Now, when you compare all of that evidence to the police reports about Tupac's passing, you really start to see the mystery. Now, the police recently arrested a man named Keefe D with connection to the crime.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefe D, of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our section to get to where we are today.
As on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over, they spotted an op inside of the lobby of the hotel.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security would end up breaking up the altercation between Tupac, Suge Knight, and the ops. However, the story only begins here, because when Tupac and Suge Knight went back to their hotel to change, they would then go off to a club that is owned by Suge Knight at around 11 p.m. When the two began driving to the club, things would go down right in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
The aftermath of the incident was a complete mystery for over 2 decades now, but finally in the year 2024, answers are starting to be revealed. The police investigated a concerning interview by a man named Keefe D on DJ Vlad's show, as during the interview, Keefe D detailed the moments of literally finding Tupac and pulling up on him in the middle of the street.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
With Keefe D making extremely bold claims to being there at the scene of the crime, he had to show some sort of proof to DJ Vlad because he was not buying it in the moment. This is then when Keefe D would share a never-before-seen police interrogation interview from the night of the crime, where he was brought into the police station to be interviewed.
Lane starts to
You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
With Keefe D releasing this footage for the first time ever, it not only announces that he was actually at the crime scene, but it also confirms that he played a part in the passing of Tupac. However, what Keefe D would say next was so concerning, because he would end up revealing that allegedly Tupac was reaching for his firearm, which is what started the entire incident.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got to reaching, I got to ducking.
So someone from your car.
That's what happened.
Started at Tupac and Suge.
As during the police's investigation, they were also able to find Keefe D's official reaction to the passing of Tupac, where he actually shows his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happened. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude. You know what I'm saying? I lost my Colombian plug. You know what I'm saying? Had been having the feds up for 15 years. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't catch a break, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I did time behind.